Hello and welcome to Yoga Nidra. This evening we're going to be starting with a seated breath practice, Pranayam. So get yourself set up for that. I'm going to be just sitting on my cushion on the floor in a cross-legged position. If that's not comfortable for you, please get yourself a sturdy straight back chair that you can sit tall in. You could also do this practice lying on your bolster if that's more comfortable as well. So do what feels best for you. So let's start with a few stretches just to get us warmed up and to open up the major areas we need for good, healthy breathing. And start by just placing your hands on your knees. And we're just going to start to bring awareness to the breath in the belly. As you breathe in, feeling the belly expand. As you breathe out, feeling the belly relax and draw inwards. Just these deep diaphragmatic breaths. We're going to start to add some pelvic tilting to the movement. So intentionally, as you inhale, expand the belly, lift the rib cage and the chest. It's almost like a back bend looking upwards. As you exhale, you're going to draw the belly in and kind of slump inwards. And then as you inhale, belly expands, and you feel the weight moving towards the front of your pelvis. Lift up the chest. Exhale as you draw back down. It's kind of like cat and cow pose, except we're in a seated position here. So it's a nice warm up for our breath and for our spine. And just feeling that lovely rhythm of your breath. No force, no strain. And then we're going to add one arm at a time. As you inhale, stretching one arm up, reach up through your fingertips, almost a back bend. And as you exhale, sending it back down and rounding forward. Inhale, lengthening up the other arm. And then exhale, back down. Inhale, stretching up your alternating arms side to side. Oh, feel that lovely side body stretch. Opening up the rib cage. Find your own rhythm. Inhale. And exhaling. One more time, alternating arms. And then we're going to add both arms at the same time. And now both arms. Inhale, stretch up, reach up into the sky, and then exhale as you flow back down. Inhale, stretch and reach up, open up through the heart center. Exhale as you relax, feel the rounding the back and the shoulders. Inhale, stretching up and exhaling back down. Last time, inhale, stretch up. This time, clasp your hands. You're going to clasp and then extend back up. So feel that lovely side body stretch. Root down through your sit bones as you lengthen up through the spine and the side body. Feel your breath. Take a last deep breath as you exhale, bringing those hands in front of your chest with the palms out. And now we're going to go into that hunchback position again. Drop your chin, round your back. This is a nice stretch for that tension in the upper back there. Drop your head down, let the back of the neck stretch out. And send some breath into that back body, into the space between your shoulder blades. On your next inhale, reaching the arms back up. Exhale, releasing the arms to the side and then clasping behind your back. You're going to take a few shoulder rolls here just to release anything in the shoulders. The shoulders roll down. And then as you inhale, think about stretching the arms away from you. So I'm stretching them away in the back. See if you can even find a lift of your rib cage, the sternum, almost like you're moving into a back bending position. That front body is now receiving lots of stretch and breath right into the front of the lungs. Last deep breath in and exhale as you release. Give the shoulders a nice little roll and wiggle. So that's a lovely short breathing stretch practice that you can do anytime, especially if you've been sitting at the computer too long. It's good to take those little breaks here and there. So our natural breathing cycle has 4 parts to it. It has the inhale, and then it has the space or the retention of the breath at the top of the inhale. And then it's got the exhale on the way down, and then the suspension or no breath at the bottom. And the ancient yogis have been studying and manipulating the different ratios of the breath for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. And what they found was that they could create specific effects in the nervous system, in the physiology of the body, by manipulating these different ratios. So, for instance, increasing the length of the inhale or that hold at the top of the inhale gives you a lot more energy. If you're feeling tired and lethargic, if you lengthen out the inhale, you're going to be receiving more oxygen saturating the lungs. On the other side, if you lengthen the exhale, an even weight in the exhale at the end, that is more relaxing and calming to the nervous system. That's a bit of an oversimplification, but it gives you some ideas how it works. And then you can get into alternate nostril breathing and which side of the nostril you're breathing in. There's a whole science of breathing and pranayama there. So last week, we started just adding a slight pause at the end of the inhale and at the end of the exhale. This time we're actually going to add the count to the breath. So we'll start with our equal action breath. So you'll be counting 4 counts in and 4 counts out. And then we're going to adding 4 counts, a hold at the top of the inhale and 4 counts hold at the bottom of the exhale. So we're going to do both at the same time. You could do them individually if you like. So let's just start by taking a moment to settle into your natural rhythm of your breath to begin with. And you might want to take a cleansing breath, so breathing in deeply. And as you exhale very slowly, smoothly, feel the sense of your body, the weight of your body settling into your chair or your cushion. And take another deep breath in. As you exhale, releasing, letting the day go, and being present to your experience, your breath, your body. And then falling into a natural rhythm of your breath. Noticing the places where you notice the breath. Maybe you notice it in and out through the nostrils. Maybe down through the back of the throat. Perhaps in the chest, the rib cage, the belly, Maybe right down into the hips and the pelvis. Maybe into the side body. Maybe into the back body. Just take a moment and follow the natural movement of your breath. Conscious breathing. Breathing in. I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out. I know that I'm breathing out. Soften and relax any tension or strain you find in your body. Now we'll start to move into the counted Samariti breath, equal action breath, and then we'll add the spaces in between. We'll start with a cleansing breath, and I'll count the first few, and then I'll let you just silently count your own. So take a deep breath in now. Fill your lungs, pause a moment, and that long, slow exhale all the way out until the lungs are empty. And then breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Continuing with your own count at your own pace. Just falling into this very balanced way of breathing and balancing the nervous system. Remember to let it be very natural, no force, no strain. And once you've settled into that natural equal action breath, we're going to add a 4 count hold at the top of the inhale, the retention of the breath, and a 4 count hold at the bottom of the exhale, the suspension of the breath. So again, I'll count a few for you, and then you can find your own rhythm. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4. Continuing on your own count. It's helpful at the end of your exhale to slightly draw in the lower abdominals, a yogic block called Anabanda. This helps to ground the energy and force the last bit of air out of the lungs. If at any time this starts to not feel comfortable for you, just come back to your natural breath. Relax your face, your jaw, your eyes, your mind. And notice the quality of the energy in that pausing, that stilling of the breath. It's a very alive place. A sparkling stillness. And so finish off your last cycle of counted breath. And then just let your breath be very natural. And yet notice the state or the quality of your breath and the inner state it points to. All of these breathing and pranayama practices are very powerful. And with consistent practice, again, you start to derive great benefits from all of these breathing practices. So let's move into a couple of seated stretches and postures before we move into our yoga nidra. So again, sitting on the ground, and now those of you, if you've been in a chair, it might be nice for you to come down onto your mats if you can. The first pose we're going to come into is bound angle pose. So usually we do the supported bound angle pose. We're going to do seated bound angle pose. So it's bringing the soles of your feet together. And we're going to do the version with our feet a little further from us. So you have a diamond shape between your legs. You need something to support your thighs so that they don't get too tired and it doesn't cause strain in your hips. So some blocks, some books, some boxes, whatever you have available here. And so we begin by sitting nice and tall. And I'm also going to use my bolster this evening. You don't necessarily have to. I'm placing it on top of my feet here. But to begin with, place your hands on the bolster or just rest them on your shins. And just take a moment to sit up tall. And feel that diamond shape between your legs. Feel the weight of your thighs and your pelvis. At the same time, feel yourself sitting up nice and tall. And continue to tune into that beautiful, smooth breath. And yes, adding that slight pause at the top of the inhale, that slight pause at the end of the exhale. Now you're welcome to stay here in a more upright position, or you're going to inhale. As you exhale, hinge forward from the hips. So it's not a collapsing round and you're hinging from the hips. So you might be able now to rest your forearms or your elbows on your bolster here, or just keep your fingertips on the ground, whatever's available for you. And again, notice what's happening in your hips and your inner thighs here. A little bit more stretch and release. Breathe into any tension you find. And again, you can continue to go a little bit deeper depending on your level of flexibility. So you might find, oh, I can go here. Now, there's one option here, which I call TV watching pose. You can cup your chin here, or you can, this is nicer actually, to rest your forehead into your palms. Keep your shoulders down. And you know, anytime we rest our forehead on something, it invokes some acupressure points, so it's very soothing to the nervous system. And if you're very flexible, you might be able to cross your forearms and rest your forehead right onto your forearms and the bolster there. So please take good care of yourself. Wait for your body to say yes. I can release and let go a little bit more with each and every breath. Remember to find that sense of rest and release. These are not meant to be active postures, are meant to be yin-like postures that release deeply into the hip sockets and all the muscles and ligaments and connective tissue here. So just allowing gravity to assist you in this posture, as well as your breath. It's a nice opportunity to send some breath and prana to your back muscles and the spine, breathing into any tension or strain that you find in your back. Remember to relax the shoulders down away from the ears. Being kind and compassionate to yourself in both your body and your mind. And taking 3 more full and complete breaths. And that last breath, inhale as you push yourself back up. You can remove the bolster. Now, cross your arms, lift your knees a little bit so that you can place your palms on the fronts of your knees. This is a nice stretch. Now a counter stretch. So now you get to slouch. So roll yourself back, drop your chin, and gently pull on your knees a little bit. Feel that nice stretch into the back of the shoulder blades, back of the neck. Finding your breath. Contemplating your navel. On your next inhale, lifting up out of the pose. And the next pose is seated wide angle pose. So you're going to take your legs in a nice wide V position. So remember, it's good that you have something to sit on. And you might want to take a little sweep of your buttocks from behind you because you want the front of your pelvis and your hip points to feel like they're falling forwards instead of drawing backwards here. Now, my feet are very active, so I'm stretching out through the soles of my feet with my toes straight up towards the ceiling. I'm going to do a little bit of a warm up for this, but once more, you might want to have your bolster sitting somewhere in front of you so that when you lean forward, you'll be able to reach it there. But let's do our warm up to begin with. So inhale, stretching both arms up, that lengthening of the side body. Exhale, hinging from the hips. Reach, reach, reach. Imagine you're going to reach out and grab my hands and then take them down to the floor, your bolster, and then slide them back. So it's kind of like a water wheel. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward, reach, reach, reach as far as you can, and then let your hands release down. They slide along the floor back towards you. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward. That exhale. Inhaling, sliding back and all the way up. Exhale, folding forward. Last time. Inhale, stretching all the way up, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, hinge forward and find the bolster or the floor with your hands or your fingertips here. I'm going to slide back a little bit so you can see mine here. Good. So you're just gently resting. So it doesn't have to be very much. You're almost upright for a moment. Let your body just breathe and ease into it. If you find that you have strain behind your knees, you can bend the knees a little bit. You could even use some blocks behind your knees if that feels all right. So again, lots of ways of taking care of ourselves. Continue to feel the breath. Think about rooting down through the backs of your femurs towards the ground there, as well as rooting back to your sit bones. And if you want to go a little deeper, inhale the breath. Exhale as you just slide forward. You might have to slide the bolster a little bit closer towards you and maybe just coming to your forearms or your elbows. Again, being patient, trusting you know exactly where you need to be for your practice. Notice what your shoulders are doing. Are they hunched up around your ears? Draw them down. Again, you could do the same pose with elbows on your bolster and forehead resting into your palms, shoulders relaxed. Also a nice thing to do if you feel a headache coming on is to put a little pressure on the forehead. Rest and breathe. And if you're Extremely flexible, just coming right down onto your forearms. Continue to notice the quality of your breath. We want to maintain that nice, smooth quality of your breath that you started with in the pranayama practice, as well as making space for that slight space at the end of the inhale, that slight pause at the end of the exhale. Scanning your body, noticing where you can soften and release a little bit, especially the face. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Relax any tension in your jaw. Let's take 3 more breaths in this wide angle pose. And your next inhale, gently stretching yourself back up. Setting your bolster aside, maybe helping your legs back together. And actually come off your cushion. Make sure you have space behind you. Now lean back on your hands. Your knees are bent, your feet are mat width apart, and then it's just our windshield wiper pose. So anytime we've done some hip and leg work, it's a really nice pose to just release, bringing us back to the neutral position. And then gently bring it back to center. We're going to do, how quickly time has gone. Let's just do a lying down twist just to release our back muscles. So go ahead and lie down, but hug your knees in towards you. If you want to, you can have a little cushion for your head. You want to take a little roll from side to side. And then take your arms out to the side with the palms up, let the backs of the shoulders rest. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, releasing both knees over to the right. Remember, if you have trouble, if you need to support your legs, use your bolster to support your knees so that they can, or your legs. Again, the head can stay straight, or you can turn the head towards the left in the opposite direction. And you might want to take a nice cleansing breath, so breathe in deeply, pausing, savoring that breath. And that long exhale all the way out. And feel your bones and muscles letting go, releasing, settling. Breathe away any tension or strain in your lower back, anywhere else in your body that you notice. And remembering to turn your head back to center first, followed by both knees. Inhaling the breath. And then exhale, your knees are going to go in the opposite direction. So towards the left. You need to prop them on a bolster or a block. Have that ready. Allow your arms to stay wide so you get that lovely expansion across the collarbones and the heart center. Either keeping your head straight or turning it now in the opposite direction towards the right. Feel your shoulder blades softening into the surface that you're lying on. Let go of any holding in the legs and the thighs, anywhere else in your body. Feel your breath. This breath that we cultivate a deeper relationship with, a more intimate relationship with our own breath. And then turning your head back to center first, followed by your knees. Give one last hug, a little rock and roll on your back and your spine. And then we'll get ready for our Yoga Nidra practice. So getting everything you need to be comfy and cozy, blankets, cushions, bolsters behind your knees. And again, just whether you're lying on the mat, on the floor, or on your bed, or an easy chair, finding what works best for you. Stretching your legs out, letting your feet just fall out from the ankles. Feel space behind the knees. Maybe squeeze and lift the buttocks for a moment and then set the whole pelvis down. The lower back releases. Press the backs of your shoulders into the ground and roll them under. Feel your head in line with the spine. And anything else that you can do just to make yourself more comfortable. Covering yourself with a blanket. Sometimes in the warmer weather, you don't always need that. Sometimes it's nice to just have a lighter cotton blanket or material. And take a deep cleansing breath, breathing all the way in, pausing, breathing all the way out as you feel the weight of your body letting go, releasing. And then come back to your natural breath. And using your imagination this evening, imagining a beautiful place that you like to go. Maybe it's in your own backyard, park, a retreat center somewhere, in the forest, by the ocean, somewhere where you feel completely at ease and safe. Picture it fully in your mind's eye. Use all of your senses. What does it smell like there? What sounds might you hear? What's the feeling on your skin? What are the smells or the scents? Even the taste? And fully picturing yourself in this space. Take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, let yourself settle a little bit more deeply into this beautiful, peaceful scene. Knowing that you are supported, you are held, you are loved. Feel the gentleness of your breath. Remembering whatever your inner intention or sankalpa is, your heartfelt desire, a word or a phrase in the present moment. I am peaceful. I am whole. I am loving. Or simply, I am. Repeat that silently in your own mind 3 times, believing it to already be true at some level of your being. Returning back to your breath, the life-giving power of your breath. Beginning your rotation of consciousness, beginning with your right hand this evening. Just be aware of your right hand. Bringing individual attention now to the feeling of your thumb, the pointer finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, your pinky finger. And now feel and sense all 5 fingers at the same time. The skin on your palm, the skin on the back of the hand. And now the radiant sensation of your whole hand. Warm, pulsing, alive with energy. Continuing to feel your breath. Bring awareness up through the wrist, and the forearm. Feeling and sensing the elbow, and the inner hollow of the elbow, and the outer elbow. Now into the upper arm. Let it completely relax. Following the feeling of the upper arm bone as it connects into the right shoulder. Let the right shoulder melt and relax. Sensing and feeling the back of the shoulder, the top of the shoulder, the front of the shoulder, and the armpit. Feeling and sensing into the right side of your chest, the right breast, into the back, the right shoulder blade. Let awareness flow down through the right side of the rib cage. Tune into the movement of breath there. Sensing how the right lung fills completely and then empties completely, effortlessly. Flowing down through the right side of the abdomen, winding around to the right side of the lower back. Flowing down into the right side of the pelvis, softening the right buttock. Feeling deep into the right hip socket, front, side, back. From the hip flowing down into the right thigh, feel the heaviness of the femur, the large muscles. Flowing down into the knee, softening the space behind the right knee. Flowing right down into the lower leg, the shin, the calf. Sensing and feeling the right ankle, the skin on the top of the foot, the skin on the bottom sole of the foot, all of the toes, and the space between the toes. And imagining that you could breathe in through the bottom of your right foot. And breathe all the way up the right side of your body to your shoulder and out through the right arm and hand. So sweeping the right side of your body with breath. Inhaling through the right foot all the way up the leg, side body to your shoulder. Exhale out through the right arm and the right hand. Sweeping away, brushing away any tension, strain. This cleansing, purifying breath. Bring awareness now to the body as a whole. Taking a moment to notice the difference between the right side of your body and the left side of the body. Perhaps feeling a little bit lighter and spacious, tingly. These practices retrain our nervous system. They awaken sensation. And so let's take our awareness now to the left hand and awaken the left side of the body, starting with individual fingers, your thumb, your pointer finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, the pinky finger, all 5 fingers at the same time. Now bring awareness to the skin on the palm, the back of the hand, sensing and feeling the hand from the inside out, all the tiny muscles and bones. Can you feel the echo of breath in your fingertips? Bring awareness now up through the left wrist and the forearm. The elbow, the upper arm, not making anything happen, just being aware of your own experience in your own body. Feeling awareness move up into the left shoulder, front of the shoulder, back of the shoulder, top of the shoulder, deep into the shoulder joint itself. Left side of the chest, left breast, and the back of the shoulder where it joins onto the shoulder blade. Allow the shoulder blade to release and relax. Going down through the left side of the rib cage, front, side, back. Feeling deeper into the movement of the left lung as you breathe. Going down into the left side of the abdomen, the left side of the lower back. Let awareness flow like warm honey down into the left side of the pelvis, your left hip. Going deep into the hip socket itself, front, side, back of the hip. Flowing down through the left thigh, releasing the weight there. Flowing down through the knee, softening the space behind the knee. Now to the shin, the calf. The ankle. Filling into the left foot, all the tiny muscles and bones. The skin on the top of the foot. The skin on the bottom of the foot. And the toes. Now imagining that you can breathe in through the bottom of the left foot. Inhaling all the way up the left side of the body to the left shoulder. Exhale out through that left arm and hand. Let that breath flow. No restrictions. Cleansing, healing. Brushing away any tension, any blockages. healing wave of your breath. And now bringing awareness to both sides of the body equally. Relaxed, spacious. The energy, the prana flowing freely. Turning into that beautiful sense of your breath. That smooth, long, silky breath. And feel the weight of your head releasing through the back of the skull. Become aware of the feeling of your mouth and your jaw. Maybe moisten your lips. Feeling the mouth relax into a gentle smile of contentment. Nothing in the tongue. Feel the soft touch of your breath in and out through the nostrils, back into the sinuses. Soften the inner corners of your eyes, soften the outer corners of your eyes. Feel the delicate covering of your eyelids, sensing the space they gently come together. Invite the eyes to relax back into the head, away from the outer distraction of sight. Soften the space between the eyebrows, softening all of the facial muscles. Sensing the whole body being breathed, as if you were simply the vessel through which this healing breath moves and has its being. Pausing at the top of the inhale, pausing and lingering at the end of the exhale. Picturing yourself in your beautiful sacred space that you imagined at the beginning of practice. And now feeling the presence of a dear teacher, mentor, spiritual being, the Buddha, the Christ, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, maybe a beloved grandmother or auntie. And imagine gazing into their eyes and seeing the perfect love reflected there, seeing yourself reflected there. And this being opens her arms and invites you into her loving embrace. Feel yourself melting into the arms of this loving being. It's the most comforting, enfolding, wonderful embrace you have ever felt. Allow yourself just to be held now, feeling comfort unlike anything you've experienced in human form. And perhaps just feel yourself resting against this being, like a child resting in her mother's or her father's or grandfather's, auntie's arms. And whisper to this loving being one worry or burden that you're carrying. Let it be fully received by this loving being. Allow her to receive your pain, your worry, your sadness, your anxiety. And this great loving being takes it into her own heart. And transforms it into healing energy. And offers it back to you. And so take that healing substance back into your own heart and let it radiate through every fiber of your being as a gift you bring back to the world. And just sit in that warm, golden energy for a moment, that healing energy. Infused with your own transformed pain that is now the source of your own greatest wisdom and courage and light. Resting in the light that you already are, dissolved at one with all great beings. relaxed and settled in your beautiful space. Thanking a teacher or mentor or spiritual being that has spent this time with you. Knowing that you can invite them back anytime you choose. And for this moment, perhaps also see yourself getting up and slowly meandering out of the space where you've been. Once again, knowing you can return anytime. Feel back into the space where you are now. A sense of the floor or couch beneath you. Begin to deepen your breath. Begin to stretch and move and enjoy the movements that your body makes. Thankful for the miracle of our bodies. And taking your time, remember to roll over onto your side first, resting there for a few moments, maybe listening for your soul whispers, those little insights that might bubble up both now and later. And when and if it feels right, coming back to your seated position. Simply sitting for a moment, just continuing to enjoy your breath and those spaces in between breaths. Feeling renewed, feeling healed. Every time we practice, we brush away another layer that prevents us from seeing our true and beautiful nature. And yet we practice not only for ourselves, but for our families, our communities, the world. And so we'll end with our chant, our loving kindness chant, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. We'll chant it 3 times. And the first time you chant it for yourself. The second time you chant it for a friend or a loved one. And the final time you chant it for the whole world, for all beings everywhere. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And so may all beings be ever blessed with peace and love and light. Namaste.